Well, hello YouTube. Here we are, and welcome to another Maxwell's Mines. Well, pretty much we're sitting right around the end of November here of our 2016. I know we pretty much missed the better part of October for Maxwell's Mines, and first part of November, but it is what it is. Sometimes you try, and the more you try, the worse things end up. The more stress, things are caused, and the more headache that goes on, right? Sometimes you have to almost let go, don't stress about things, and they'll work out on their own. You know, there was a saying I remember I was told long ago about don't sweat the small stuff. Basically, don't worry about things that aren't of extreme importance. You know, there are people in your lives, forces in your lives. I swear the only reason why they're there is to cause chaos and trouble. Then there are people in your lives that are actually there to help you, to actually do good in your life. And the sooner you recognize who is in your life to be your friend, to build you up, to help you out, and who is in your life to tear you down, to be your enemy, the better off you'll be. And once you realize who those people are, then of course, your life can start, on track, being a little better, things like that. And of course, there's other influences as well, like credit cards or job situations, or, buying a new vehicle, buying a house, bills. All that has influences on your life as well. And sometimes things are so easily to get a hold of, whatever it may be, and they're so hard to shake, when the time comes. It's sometimes it's almost like an addiction, and sometimes it's almost like a bloodsucker. I myself have recently been through something extreme in terms of someone trying to bring me down, to the point where, there was a few times where there could have been a much greater outcome than what there already was or already is. You try to make ends meet, you try to keep bills paid, you try and try, but at the same time, it's like, it's not enough. It's never enough. You give these people all your money, and all they do is want more and more and more, and if you're $1 short in making their minimum payment, I found out through all of this that it actually doesn't count as a payment. So you're best to keep that $20 or that $100 and actually put it on medication that you actually need to be coherent or functioning as a member of society, than it is to give them to these leeches, because they don't care. They get paid the same whether they help you or not. They get paid the same. At the end of the day, their job is done whether they harass you or not. They just plain do not care. So of course, after mailing a check away to the big city to a bloodsucker I never met or anything like that, I haven't got no letters back or no confirmation to say thank you for paying, or I just screwed you and you thanked me for it, kind of a deal. And I've got nothing back, so I have no idea what the direction is on that. All I know is I sent a large amount of cash, or check, I guess, somewhere, where that money could have went somewhere else. These bloodsuckers sure in the heck don't need it. But at the same time, I agree, debt is debt. Debt incurred is debt. Some of that debt was incurred under my own steam, my own doing my own power, but the bulk of that was actually their interest charges and things like that. I don't understand how they have to sock it to you for interest charges, especially when you've been honest with them and tried to work things out ahead of time before it got this bad. And I'm wondering if that's why things got this bad. Because when I lost my job in 2014 there, when things started to slow down, I was honest with this company and only this one company. And it was only this one company that has caused me this grief. None of the other people that I owe or owed money to has ever done this, except for this one company who I called and was honest with. So, is honesty the best policy? In this case, I'd have to say no. If I wouldn't have been honest with the people on the other end of the phone, could I say I would be in a better position right now? I would have to say it's hard to say. However, it's very suspicious when they were the only people that I was honest with, and they are the only people or company that is giving me grief or headache. Well, speaking of headache, for those of you that are watching from the States, y'all will know about your U.S. elections. Pretty much they're over and done with now. The president has been elected. I guess whether whoever you voted for, whichever candidate you voted for, I guess the choice was made based on your guys' votes, and no matter which way it would have turned out, I'm sure it would have had equal, or either way would have had its ups and down points. Sometimes it's like getting the fox to guard the hen house, or the weasel to guard the hen house. You never know, lesser of two, I suppose, but at the same time, sometimes it takes somebody who will stand up against the majority to speak for, what needs to be spoke for. Time will tell on how well this presidential candidate does, how well, things go. I know from watching politics over the last few years that they always come in with these great big promises about this, and that, and 99% of the time the promises they make never do come true, because they make these lies essentially, or promises on these campaign trails just to get you to vote for them, and really they don't have the power or the ability to actually affect that much change. So time will tell on that. You never know. This might be the best presidential candidate that the U.S. has had in, decades. Somebody who will actually make change rather than just roll over and be bought by big business. That being said, of course, I am not in the United States. I am in the great area called Canada, which might as well be called, the little brother or little sister to the States. Because whatever goes on there happens here, or does affect here eventually. So one thing I will say is this presidential candidate did say about putting the pipeline through and creating jobs in the oil sector. So I am hoping that the jobs in the oil sector he's meaning does affect Alberta in terms of actually getting us back to work. A lot of us Albertans are going on 2 years without working, and a lot of us has gone through quite a bit of changes, quite a bit of family changes, lifestyle changes, job changes. There's quite a few of us that can't even get a job at McDonald's because of certain things that are going on in the minimum wage, low-end job situation. It's weird how it works. There was a time where employees, people to work these jobs were non-existent, meaning they brought people here to work these jobs, and now when there's no jobs, now there's a surplus of people to work jobs. And it's weird that the jobs that are being, divvied out aren't going to people that actually need them in terms of, been here their whole lives, Canadians. Now, I know some people may not agree with that statement and all that good stuff, but hey, that's their opinion, and I have my opinion as well. And I'm definitely trying to filter my opinion and not tell you guys exactly how I feel, because if I told you guys exactly what my view was on certain points, I am pretty sure, I'd have a bag of flaming dog crap on my doorstep within a day or two. Of course, that seems to be the way the world works, the way the world goes around. It is changing, and sometimes if you can't deal with the change or change with the change, evolve, as they say, you go extinct. You're best just to not be part of the world in some situations. I've done that in past employments where we would have a good team that's working well together, and the manager will get promoted or changed out, and the next guy in's incompetent and basically tears the good team apart. Fights with staff, fires staff, schedule changes, gets people to quit, stuff like that. And then it ends up, the whole situation falls apart, sales go, business ends up suffering or even closing. I've had that happen. Seems to be the way it is, right? The whole world thrives on chaos and change. You're driving a truck that's 14 years old. Your buddy's got a truck that's, 4 months old. You want a new truck, so you just go buy a new truck. You don't fix it. This truck that I'm filming in right now is a 2003 Chevrolet Silverado, 149,000 kilometers. Basically, the truck has not been hurt. It is still in really, really good shape. There is next to zero rust. There is a little flaky spot by one of the passenger side tailpipe there, but it's not rusty. It's just paint. I recently did some repairs, or I guess I should say had some repairs done, and I feel this truck is good for another 4 or 5 years, at least anyway. The biggest issue I'm having with the Silverado right now is due to a workplace injury between my hip and my back and my hand. I'm finding it difficult to drive the manual transmission. I don't know, maybe it's old age, maybe it's all the little injuries that are catching up to me. But it is what it is. It's part of old age, right? That's partly what attracted me to this truck, was the 5-speed standard. 4x4, 5-speed, nice little truck. I wasn't much for big 8-cylinder trucks, so I chose a V6. I chose the 5-speed transmission because, I prefer, even still to this day, prefer to drive a stick over an automatic. And I wasn't big on 4-wheel drive, but hey, it is what it is, right? Well, there comes a time where even the Silverado might need to be changed as well. I might still keep it around as a backup truck. Might still keep it around as a, lumber truck, go to the dump truck, kind of that. Doesn't really cost you anything to have it sitting there kind of truck. Where, for those of you that were familiar with my older videos from, 6 months ago and back, for going 18 months or so, I did have a brand new 2015 GMC Canyon. Now that was definitely a learning experience, definitely a choice that I had to make. I picked up that truck when things were good, and kind of on an impulse, and kind of for a reason as well. But when things changed, you had to choose between your house or your truck. And unfortunately, you can't sleep in your truck here in Canada. So I chose to keep in the house over the truck. And I got lucky. The bank did not get the truck back. So therefore, my record is clean from repossessions. However, I did have to sell the truck. And I did not get money back from it. I basically walked away from the truck and sold it for what was owing, not a penny more. You know, it would have been nice to have gotten, you know, 3 or 4 extra grand on top of the money that was owing on it. But at the same time, what are you going to do? Say no and go and take your chances? You know, and in that case, the bank would have most definitely got it back. And I'd be kicking myself and not taking the gift while I had the chance. But I guess that's part of life. The choices you make, the decisions you make. You know, you have to realize that you might have a good job now, but when you've signed basically a contract saying you're going to make you know, payments over the next 72 months on a vehicle, you have to think what happens in 3-4 years when the vehicle's almost paid for. You've paid down $30,000 on this vehicle. You still owe 12 or 15 grand, but yet you can't make the payments. What happens then? You know, in my view, having an old vehicle is nice and all. It's paid for. You don't owe really a dime on it. However, there are repair bills that do pop up. It does break down. There is things needing to be done. And you don't have the comfort level of these modern, fancy new vehicles. That being said, a new vehicle has the false sense of security of having a warranty, as well as has all these fancy gadgets and tech and you know, navigation and OnStar and all this stuff that really entices you into buying it. That, and of course, it's nice and shiny and brand new too, right? But once you realize that having a brand new vehicle doesn't make you who you are, it's a tool in your life that helps you reach your goals. And having a vehicle, whether it's new or used, shouldn't affect your life, meaning you have to choose between food on your table, medication that you need, or having the vehicle. I am one of the lucky ones. I was able to get out of my truck. I know others that weren't able to sell their truck, and their truck got repossessed. And having a repossession on your record is something that will be around on your record for like 7 to 10 years or so. And every time you go, it'll be there popping up saying that, well, this guy defaulted on his loan, he didn't pay for his truck or whatever, or house or whatever, and it'll always be there. You know, same with credit card debt, or not paying your phone bill now. You know, your utility bills, they actually track that stuff now. And having a credit card goes bad on you will affect that as well. Sometimes the bloodsuckers, they push. They don't realize the more they push, you know, the more they push, the worse it gets for the person. But I think they intend on that. I think they intend on making your life hell. I think they intend on freezing your bank accounts and locking you out of things that you need to survive, just to force you to pay money that you don't have, like plain and simple. Believe me that if I would have had the money when I got let go of work there, if there would have been a severance, that would have been one of the first things I would have took care of. However, of course, there was no pay, there was no nothing. It was like, don't let the door hit you on the way out, and well, you know, good luck kind of a deal. And the more you try, the more you sell your trailer, or sell this or sell that, and put it on the credit card, it just disappears. Because one, you didn't make their minimum payment, and two, the interest is so high that anything you put on there just disappears instantly. So basically, you pray that you're able to keep things afloat until such time as either you start working again, or something happens where you get a lump sum of cash, so you're able to deal with that debt in well, one shot. Well, I don't know if I've ever really talked about my YouTube channels on Maxwell's Mines. First of all, I got the Fire Pit channel. The Fire Pit channel has been going for a few years now. For the last little while, there's been no new content on the channel due to computer hard drive fail, and well, is not really getting back to filming. I do have the stuff that is needed to film. It's just a matter of things settling on down and the right conditions coming on about, so I can start filming again. I believe that channel's been around since like 2012 or so, and I believe there is something like 42 or so subscribers on that channel. However, the videos themselves do get good views, just people don't subscribe to the channel. Well, the vlogging channel here, which is Maxwell's Vlogs, I believe has 40 or 42 subscribers once again, and has been around since 2011 or so, and about 880 or so, 890 videos. Every day I try to put some content out, and with the vlogging channel I upload there every second day. And sometimes the videos have something interesting in them, and when it's a slow day, it kind of is what it is. You know, it's hard when you're vlogging and going through a lot of things with my dad, with life problems, job problems, because the more stuff you put out there, the more ammunition you give people to use it back against you. So some of the stuff I put out on YouTube has been censored and filtered to the point where sometimes when I vlog in a day, it ends up being a boring day on the vlog side of things. However, it was a very busy day on my side of things. Well, the Maxwell's World channel is still around, going on 7 years now. I believe we're like 1,100 or so videos on the Maxwell's World channel. 810 subscribers. Now, it would be nice after, 6 years if there was a few more thousand subscribers on that channel. It would be nice if the channel was self-sustaining, but hey, we're working toward building the subscriber count, subscriber base. With the base comes, I'm hoping, the views, and with the views comes the ability to, well, do more things on the channel. This summer, I would like to do some traveling. This summer I would like to go a few places. I'm not quite sure how far from home I'd like to go, but we can start locally and kind of work our way out. One, it'll be a new experience for me, stepping out of my comfort zone, And two, if I take the camera, which I'm sure I'm gonna, because I pretty much film everything else, it'll be content for you guys to watch, which I'm sure you guys will like. Seeing museums and zoos and car collections and just nature that a lot of people wouldn't get to, well, enjoy. When I started this channel in 2010, I had multiple reasons for doing it. And sometimes you think about giving up because it'd be easier just to shut her on down, less strain on your computer, less drain on your time. Your money wouldn't disappear into editing software and things like that. But at the same time, I started this channel to bring the world to people that wouldn't normally get to experience it. Some people never get to travel. Some people don't get to go to museums or zoos or whatever, right? Now, I'm not the kind of guy to hop on a plane and fly to wherever. But at the same time, there's plenty of local attractions, if you want to say, in your own backyard that I'm sure would be very, very interesting to share with everybody that was willing to watch. So we'll have to see how the summer shakes out. Job-wise, obviously, if I end up getting a job, we will have to put the job into consideration as well for the time away. But if I do get a job or so, then that will bring money to the table, so we can do more things than what we've already done or have been doing. But that being said, of course, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and what doesn't drive you to end it makes you stronger as well. Because once you've been through the wide range of emotions once, or twice, or 4 times, you know what to expect the next time around, and you know that, hey, you survived it once, you most definitely can survive it again. And like I said there in the beginning of the video, once you realize who's in your life to help you out or to tear you down, that most definitely helps the situation, helps your life grow and get better as well. But pretty much, guys, that concludes this here Maxwell's Minds episode. Of course, tune on in, subscribe to the channels. We have content that is interesting every once in a while. Gonna try to keep going and try to keep rolling on through. Soon we will be in winter, and once winter's on over, back into spring and summer. Hopefully by then people have straightened on out, things have straightened on out, job situations come back around, and everything can get back to normal. But thank you for watching Maxwell's Mind, and as always, comment, subscribe, and enjoy.